It's innovation time. So we're going to talk about Creative Construction by Gary Pisano. He was a professor of mine teaching innovation at Harvard Business School, so I even was able to look through some of the notes afterwards. So let's look at what he can tell us and teach us as leaders about innovation. This book provides a framework for sustained innovation and gives you some tools for these really difficult trade-offs. He starts off saying, hey, this is a difficult process. There is no easy way. There's no quick fixes like you might see in other books. And you have to really respect that. It actually made me feel like I was back doing cold calls or getting ready for those all over again, which is a fantastic feeling. He goes over 3 different things throughout the book: strategy, system, culture. He first starts talking about innovation strategy and how you take resources and turn them into value. In this way, larger companies with their larger amounts of resources are able to find out more areas to put value into. The problem is they tend to spend all their money and innovation on things that they are already doing and doing incremental improvements and spend it all on the core. Instead, they should be spending it around 70% on the core, 20% on things and technologies that are adjacent and would help them out, and then 10% on these larger kind of the moonshot type projects. In that way, you're able to diversify your innovation and look at many more things. He brings up Netflix. I still have my notes on how they beat out Blockbuster and all the fun that happened with that. Netflix, as they were going in to video on demand, they had a solid market as they were moving over. But they decided to take a look at the innovation because they had those plans up in the right way and their strategy in place. So I almost feel like the entire book is worth it just for these chapters covering Netflix and Blockbuster because it's so fun to read and I love it. He then starts talking about innovation systems, or how you would look at directions for your projects. One of the biggest tools is a quad chart talking about how far away a technology is from being realized to the impact to your business. So if it is long ways away, not a big impact, don't worry about it. If it's right around the corner and has a huge impact to your business, you probably need to start putting resources in to mitigate some of that. He also brings up that financials can be a huge detriment to innovation just because the numbers are wishy-washy to begin with, and people tend not to trust them very well. So it's really hard to kind of get those to work out for you. Instead, look at a learn to burn ratio. So try to get the most amount of learning possible with spending the least amount of money in doing so to get the best results. And then he also brings up killer experiments where, hey, everyone's talking about we should do this. Let's have an experiment to prove that that is not possible so we can move on to do other and more interesting things. Finally, he discusses innovation culture. And as fate would have it, I just finished Extreme Ownership, which discusses how high-performance teams need high accountability across all levels, including leaders who need to provide top cover and space so that teams can go out and do their jobs, and leaders get rid of all the blockers that get in their way. This kind of combines with other stereotypes to create this innovation culture where you see foosball tables and this fun little area. However, this high accountability, these flat organizations, they also have a different side, or the paradox of, hey, that stuff might be fun, but you are highly accountable. People are brutally honest and highly transparent, and that needs to happen for things to work out well. And so there is a pushback to sometimes other cultures that people are more comfortable with, especially with larger organizations, which might kill this innovation culture that you might need. And some people just might not be ready to work for that. Overall, the book is great because the strategy makes sense, and then the tactile little charts really allow you to make decisions at the team level as you're trying to develop out innovation programs, no matter the size. My only criticism is I had to buy a hardcover book. I typically don't have many of these anymore. There's no audiobook yet. Now, I'm not going to say any names, but another one of my professors who taught the same classes and actually have notes on the same piece of paper from him, he had an audiobook. I was able to finish it twice as fast. So hopefully an audiobook will be coming out sooner and it'll be allowed to get out to many more people. You can just put the charts up on the website. If anyone else has any ideas of books about leadership or business that they suggest and want me to cover, please feel free to leave those in the comments below. In the meantime, have a great one.